How's your mom? Okay. All rise, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Here.
Councilman McCarthy?
Here.
Councilman Wareheim?
Here.
Councilman Creighton?
Here.
Councilman Malloy?
Yeah, here.
Sitting as a Board of Water Commissioners, the town board to authorize the full-time appointment, a transfer from 2 accounts as per 1, 2, and 3 of the agenda.
Councilman Malloy?
1 second, please. Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes, we reconvened as the town board. Town board to conditionally approve the site plan for Magic Properties for the renewal of an expired site plan approved on February 9, 2010, as per the agenda item.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes. Reconvene the board as the town
Supervisor,
board.
the minutes also
Okay, where is that?
on these.
Okay. Town board also to approve the minutes of the site plan meeting of November 21st. No, I'm sorry, where was that?
November 5th.
November 5th, okay, thank you. You need to vote that?
Yep. Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes. Under public hearings, the town board to consider the town's entry onto certain real property located at 15 August Crescent, Comac, said property being owned by Oakland Federal Bank for the purpose of removing all overgrown grass, weeds, rubbers, and vegetation.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the town board. My name is John Zolo, town attorney for the town of Smithtown. You have before you on the agenda items number 1, which is a hearing with respect to 15 August Crescent, and item number 2, which is also a public hearing regarding to 244 4th Street. At this time, based upon a report I received from the Department of Public Safety, those property maintenance issues have been resolved. So at this time, I'd recommend to the board that these 2 public hearings be just withdrawn from the agenda. So I'd ask you to make a motion to that effect.
John, do you want to, would you rather just adjourn them and see how if things stay that way to like a later date? Or
We
just-
could do that. We had adjourned it previously, and it was to make certain that the conditions were all resolved. If the board has a mind to do that, you most certainly could do that till December 17th if you want to.
Yeah,
Well,
That way
why don't
we
we
have
just move
main-
to withdraw it?
all right.
I'll move to withdraw 1 and 2.
Okay, second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Mr. Supervisor, if I might take item number 5 out of order. It's another public
Okay.
hearing with respect to property maintenance. And this one, if the board is so inclined, I'd ask you to adjourn this until December 17th, the next evening, or the next town board public hearing date. We have pretty much received 95% compliance. Public safety went there today and observed the front door was ajar, and we're going to have building take a look at that tomorrow and see if we can resolve that. So I would expect by December 17th that these items will all be taken care of.
Okay, town board to adjourn the town's entry onto certain real property located at 258 7th Street, St. James, New York, as per the agenda item.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Town board to consider special exception petition as submitted by Site Tech Wireless for special exception for Tier 3 public telecommunications facility.
Thank you.
My name is Bailey Larkin with the law firm of Ray Nielsen, Huber, and Coughlin. Office is at 36 North New York Avenue in Huntington, here on behalf of SiteTech. Wireless, AT&T, and Verizon. As the board's aware, there's an existing 75-foot unipole on the Town of Smithtown Golf Course on Landing Avenue. The application requests approval to extend the existing pole to 125 feet in height. The primary purpose of the extension is public safety. The town currently maintains several whip antenna on top of the existing unipole. In addition, AT&T and Verizon can relocate and upgrade their existing equipment to better serve the community. I do have with me copies of a real estate appraisal report that I'd like to submit. The rest of the materials were already submitted with the application. I also have with me several expert witnesses who can testify as to the materials submitted with the application if there's any questions. If not, we would just request that the board grant this application and approve the proposed 50-foot extension.
Okay, are the other folks that wish to be heard are with you? Mr. Michael Lynch
Yes, they are.
and Mr.
Dan
Collins?
Yes.
They want to be heard?
No, there are experts that are available to speak if there's any questions. Mr. Collins prepared a health and safety report that was submitted with the application. And Mr. Lynch is a real estate appraiser, and he prepared this report that I'd like to submit with you.
Okay, well, it may well be that they can speak a minute or two on their expertise.
Sure.
So we make it part of the record other than just submitting the paper.
Sure,
Is that okay?
that's fine.
Okay. Mr. Lynch?
Thanks.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board. My name is Michael Lynch. I'm state certified real estate appraiser with offices at 15 Dewey Street, Huntington, New York. I prepared the real property consulting report on the effects of the proposed 50-foot extension of the existing 75-foot unipole that presently exists at the Smithtown Landing Golf Club. I inspected the property back in September. I took a series of photographs of the photo. They're included within my report. I did a study of the surrounding homes since the date of the original installation of the 75-foot portion, and I did not find that the surrounding area within a quarter-acre radius of the property was affected any more than the overall Smithtown market for the time period from 2009 and on. I've also have a study of another golf club facility that had a 125-foot monopole situated out in the town of Riverhead. That study is included within my report. And again, the presence of that was a 125-foot tower, did not have any adverse effect on the surrounding property values. And if the
Thank you.
board has any questions, I can answer them
Thank
at this point.
Mr. Collins is next.
Good evening. My name is Dan Collins. That's C-O-L-L-I-N-S. I'm with Pinnacle Telecom Group based in Cedar Knolls, New Jersey, and my role here was to perform an analysis of the radio frequency levels from the existing, not the existing, but from both the combination of Verizon's antennas, AT&T's antennas, and 4 other hypothetically co-located wireless carriers arrayed in a worst-case condition in terms of exposure. And the worst-case radio frequency level from that collection of facilities, conservatively calculated, is still 65 times below the FCC limit for safe continuous exposure.
Thank you.
My background, by the way, is on the last page of the report. If you'd like to hear it, I can go through it.
Thank you. It's okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Mrs. Larkin,
Sure.
might somebody just indicate the purpose for the extension here as to why we're doing it?
The purpose for the extension is primarily for public safety. The town currently maintains 2 whip antenna on the top of the existing 75-foot site. These two whip antennas will be on the top of the extension at 125 feet. In addition, AT&T and Verizon currently have antennas within the pole. They will be increasing their height so they can provide better service, and they also will be replacing their equipment so that they can provide 4G services in this area, which they currently cannot.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anybody who wishes to, Mr. Bollinger wants to be heard? Michael L. Bollinger?
Yes, good evening. My name is Michael L. Bollinger. I'm a professional engineer, structural, and I'm here to testify on that monopole and its capacity to be extended.
Okay.
The pole originally is 75 foot. The design was to add a 50-foot extension, an enclosed extension, and running the structural analysis, Valmont Corporation, I reviewed the structural analysis, and the maximum stress on the pole is 56% of its capacity with the extension, and the foundation is also passing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody wish to be heard on this hearing? And I'll move to close it.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Thank you. The next public hearing is to consider a zoning petition as submitted by Memorial Sloan Kettering to modify one additional condition of approval for previous change of zone.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board. My name is Vincent Pizzulli with offices at the Omni Building in Uniondale, New York. I'm here tonight to request the board's permission to modify a prior condition of approval in connection with the petition to modify existing covenants at Sloan Kettering. The covenant in question is condition G4. Condition G4 was a carryover of one of the original conditions of approval in 1999, which prohibited the use, storage, and handling of radioactive materials, which at that time was the case. All of radiological services were performed at Memorial Sloan Kettering's Manhattan facility. Memorial Sloan Kettering now has a PET scanner at its Comac facility, and that's a diagnostic machine, and they inject a tracer drug called fluorine-18 into patients so that they can trace the drug through the patient's body. In addition, Sloan Kettering is anticipating introducing the treatment of breast cancer victims with radioactive seeds that will be implanted at this facility. So in view of its medical practice and its anticipated medical practice, we're proposing that the board modify condition G4 by adding the language I've highlighted in yellow, and it will read, there shall be no use, storage, or handling of any radioactive materials or waste on the subject parcel except in connection with the provision of diagnostic and therapeutic radiology services necessary for the diagnosis, care, and treatment of cancer patients. And that's our
Thank you.
presentation.
Anyone wish to be heard on this matter? I'll move to close the hearing.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Next public hearing, Town Board to consider proposed local law 1 of 2013, amending local law number 1 of 2005, entitled Fire Prevention as it relates to fees.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the town board. My name is John Zolo, town attorney for the town of Smithtown. What you have before you is a proposed amendment to Chapter 164 involving fire prevention. And basically what we did is we amended the ordinance, so instead of having to amend the ordinance every time fees are changed, we are now allowing the fees to be changed by town board resolution, so it would not require the necessity of this public hearing. And basically, that's what's being done tonight, is to make it more usable for the town board and the Department of Public Safety and the Fire Marshal's Office for setting the fees.
Okay, thank you. Anyone want to be heard on this? I'll move to close the hearing.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
The next public hearing is to consider proposed local law number 2 of 2013, amending chapter 256 of the code entitled Taxation as it relates to Superstorm Sandy Assessment Relief.
Mr. Supervisor, members of the town board, it's still me. This is a proposed legislation that, if the board adopts, it'd be consistent with the provisions of the Superstorm Sandy Assessment Relief Act of the state of New York, which became effective on October 22nd, 2013. This allows taxing jurisdictions to provide relief to property owners for damage to the improvements on their property caused by Superstorm Sandy. The process would be that the person who was aggrieved would go to the assessor's office. As an application you file if your damages are caused by the flood with the FEMA report. The assessor would have the ability to go anything over from 10% damage upwards. They could make adjustments for a tax year. There's an application they can get online, and they have to file within 90 days of October 22nd, 2013, which is the date that the act became effective. And that's why we moved this along rather quickly to the town board, because it is time sensitive. So with that, this would just be for the town. Each taxing entity would have to adopt their own legislation. But unless anyone has any other questions.
This is for town tax only.
Town tax only.
Would this need a secret?
The secret was already done.
Say that again?
Secret was done.
Done. Okay, then we can, anybody wish to be heard on this? Then we can move to adopt this.
Yes.
Well, I'll wait till the secret's on the agenda. We'll wait to do that. Do we have to do that?
I have, right here, I have the secret, and it looks like resolution number 8191 was submitted to the town board for tonight's meeting, so that should be on the agenda.
Supervisor, it's in on G4. 4G.
So then why don't I read that and vote it, and then we can adopt the legislation.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor.
G4, did you say?
4G.
Yeah, G4. 4G.
I see it.
That's adoption. You need the secret part of it.
Where's the
also.
secret part?
Well, that's the
Before that.
adoption.
It's afterward?
No, secret has to be before.
3A is the secret.
Okay, so we already have it on, okay, we'll come to that, we'll read it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you're gonna make a motion to close the meeting?
Yeah, close
Yes.
the hearing.
Second?
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Yes, town board to authorize the clerk to advertise for an informational hearing to be held at the Senior Center on 420 Middle Country Road, New York, on January 23rd, 2014, at 7 p.m. to consider a modified application for a special exception heard on September 20th, 2012.
Councilman Malloy?
In the interest of transparency, is this the Whisper Landing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I vote no.
Councilman Creighton?
No.
Councilman Wareham?
No.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Okay, it's been defeated. Supervisor, you gotta go back to correspondence.
Okay. Okay, for correspondence, we have the building department report for October 2013, which is available at the town clerk's office for the perusal of anyone who is interested. Town board to authorize the clerk to advertise the following bids to be returned. A bid for the sale of recycled plastics and metals, December 12, 2013. Say it again? Oh, okay, I'll get to it.
Go ahead, Vinnie, vote it.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes, and town board to authorize the parade run walk for the Kings Park St. Patrick's Day Parade.
It's under correspondence.
Okay, call the vote.
Take a vote. Okay. Town board to award the following bids and authorize the purchase of associated goods and services. Bid number 13067, intersection improvements to Edgewood and Landing Avenues to Kings Park Industries, as per the bids opened on October 17th. and further authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement on a form approved by the town attorney. Bid number 13063 for screen, sand, and salt, to All Island Mason Supply, Atlas Roll-Off, and Biddle and Sons, as for the bid opening on October 17th, 2013. And bid number 13-081 for automotive repair items to Dependable Hydraulics, Vehicle Maintenance Program, Long Island Truck Parts, Moreland Hose, United Rotary Brush, and Kingstone Plastic, as for the bid opening, October 17, 2013.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes, Town Board's own motion to enact proposed local law number 2 of 2013, amending Smithtown Code, Chapter 256, taxes as it relates to Superstorm Sandy.
Supervisor, we have to read the secret on that first.
Where is the secret?
Secret is-
3A?
That's what he read. That's what
It's
he
all
read.
part of the same one.
4G.
4G.
Read 3.
That's local law 256.
No, it's 3. The town board, after due study and deliberation of subject record, issue a secret negative declaration, determination of non-significance, the following matters as indicated, as per 3A, as the supervisor just read.
Right. Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. Town Board to approve the following minutes, Thursday, October 24th. Also, town attorney or appropriate official to enter into a stipulation of settlement and agreement as to tax certiorari matters. C, to Peter Johnson, the assessor, to attend New York State Assessors Association seminar. Agreement with Rapid Armored Corporation to provide transport and delivery of cash and checks. Acceptance of a recertification of a record of activities filed by Adam Oshrin, Planning Board member, with regard to required standard workday reporting to New York State Local Employees Retirement System. Designate the official depository for the tax receiver's office as Chase Manhattan Bank. Adoption of local law number 2 of the code as it relates, we've just done that, to the SEQA. Town attorney to enter into stipulation of settlement and consent and entry of an order with regard to following tax certiorari matters per the recommendation of the sole assessor and the attorney. Change order number 2 for PIN number 075877, improvements to Nichols Road. Attached proposal from Whereon LFG Service to provide continued professional services in conjunction with landfill gas and methane. Attached proposal from Whereon LFG Services to provide continued operation and monitoring and maintenance services for the MSF, landfill gas, the rental of a dozer from Edward Air Bar, acceptance of a dedication of a portion of land forming part of Landing Meadow Road, the purchase of a plasma cutter from Awisco, and the purchase of a MIG welder from Airweld.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Town board to authorize the control to execute the following as per A through S of the printed agenda.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Town board to authorize the supervisor to execute the following on form approved by the town attorney as per A through H of the printed agenda. Intermunicipal agreement with the town of Brookhaven, Babylon, Huntington regarding transportation, disposal of waste, and energy facilities combustible gas for the period of January 1, 2014 through December 31st, 2014. B, assignment and amendment to a lease agreement. C, an agreement. D, an agreement. E, forms and agreements. F, agreements between Town of Smithtown and the Youth Bureau. G, a waiver regarding Suffolk County Department of Health Services. And H, agreement with Control Point Associates, Inc. to provide land surveying services for the topographic and boundary survey of the Kings Park Bluff Park and Kings Park Bluff in the cost not to exceed $7,800.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 7, the town board to approve settlement of the following matters for recommendation of town attorney as per 7A National Grid versus the town of Smithtown in the amount of $5,907.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Under personnel, the town board to approve the following matters: A, part-time appointment; B, part-time appointment; and C, salary increase.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. To be heard, Mario Matera.
This is the supervisor's.
Come on, Mario, you can make it.
Wow. Good evening, Mr. Supervisor and Councilman. I thank you very much for letting me speak tonight for this very, very important project, Whisper Landings. My name is Mario Matera. I'm the business agent with Plumbers Local 200. I represent approximately 1,100 members, with 125 of them and their families living in the town of Smithtown. I'm here tonight representing the Nassau Suffolk Building Trades Council. Dick O'Kane, president, could not be here tonight. He has another meeting to attend. He wishes he could, which we represent 65,000 construction workers. Tonight, I'm proud, first of all, that the councilman actually voted down the resolution for a new public hearing in January. I've been going to the ZBA meetings. I'm sorry.
Mario, it was changed to an informational-only hearing, not a public hearing. So basically,
What do you mean?
It was changed from a public hearing to an informational hearing where the people could just be heard on both sides, and it wouldn't affect the record of the public hearing.
Okay.
That's what it was changed to. So I guess you didn't see the change that we made.
But does that have to be voted on also?
We voted
about
on
the-
it. It was 3-2. It went down just for an informational. It wasn't for a full public hearing.
So with the information, when would that take?
It's not going to happen, either one. It was just an informational hearing where the people could have heard the good about the project, the bad about the project, and
Right.
that-
Okay,
that's
well,
what happened.
now, you know what? I'm going to get right to the point then. We are all here tonight as the Nassau Suffolk Construction Trades. We have a project labor agreement on this project. Not that I'm a Smithtown resident, that I feel that not for the construction jobs, the permanent jobs, and for our residents of Smithtown that need this project desperately. Not to, we're building these assisted livings in different towns. Our families need it in our town. Please, gentlemen, we need to vote on this project today. We are all here right now today to plead with you, to say, please, we have this project. The developer is a great developer. They're two town of Smithtown residents, by the way, too, which means a lot in my eyes also. But this project, I feel, and I'm going to tell you, with the ZBA, with the meetings that have been held, with the residents, and even the residents that are very, very happy for what the results that came out about this project, we need this project to be voted on today. And that's what we're here today. Do we want this voted on today?
Let me interrupt him. Mario.
Yes.
It can't be voted on today. It hasn't been. Okay, number one. Number two, it hasn't gone through the BZA. Okay, there's 2 or 3
ZBA.
items from the BZA, not ZBA. That's Brookhaven.
BZA, okay.
We're BZA in Smithtown. Okay. it
And
hasn't-
what are those items, Mr. McCarthy?
What, I don't know, I'm not on the Board of Zoning Appeals. All I know is I was told by the Board of Zoning Appeals, there's 3 items, open items, and we can't vote on it until we understand,
Okay.
there's no secret on it, so it doesn't, we can't even do it. And
Okay.
once it's approved, it's a special exception. It's not a zone change hearing. It was a special exception hearing. Once it meets all criteria, it must be approved as per New York State law and Smithtown municipal law. And once it reaches that criteria, which it hasn't yet, and it most likely will, then it will be voted on, and it must be approved.
Okay.
That is the law.
That is the law. Now, we have a meeting that's going to be held December 17th at 2 o'clock. Will this be done, this approval be done before that?
Can't tell you, it's up to Secret and the Board of Zoning Appeals.
I am asking this board, please, whatever we could do to get this done before December 17th's meeting, because we need jobs. Do we need jobs? Yes. When do we need them?
Mr. Matera,
Yes, sir.
You're out of line.
he attempted to explain to you that we are not empowered to vote that application. It is not finished with the Board of Zoning and Appeals, and is not finished with its environmental review.
Yes, sir.
Once those things are finished, it can be brought to a vote.
Do you think this will be done before December 17th,
I-
Mr.
we don't
Supervisor?
control
Will
the-
you please guarantee?
We don't control the Board of Zoning and Appeals.
We have no input to the Board of
Okay.
Zoning Appeals. We're not allowed
Okay.
to by law.
All right, Tom, I am just here.
No, I'm just letting
As
you
a
know,
Smithtown
because you're here with
48-year
all
resident.
yourself and all your members, they need to know the facts, because the facts are getting intertwined, and no one really knows what's
Okay.
going on.
But
And
do
they
you
need to
agree
know
this is a,
that-
do you agree this is a great project for the town of Smithtown, Tom?
I'm not ready to vote on the project yet until I get the BZA and what they
Mr.
say.
Malloy, do you feel this is a great project for
Yes,
Smithtown?
I do.
Mr. Vecchio, do
Well,
you
wait
feel?
a minute, hold on. Mr. Materi, you're out
Mr.
of order.
Creighton, do you feel this is a
are
great
out of order.
project?
Allow me to say,
Mr. Wareheim.
you're out of order,
Thank you.
okay?
Mary, you were just told, as per law, it must be approved if it meets all criteria.
Right, sir.
It's that much away from meeting all criteria. And most likely it will meet all criteria. So
Good.
all your polling in the world don't mean nothing, Mario.
You know what? It does mean something, because these families need to put food
Well,
on the
you
table,
know,
Tom.
the BZA has...
We need to put food on the
But the
table.
bottom line
And
is
you know-
it has a sequence to go through. It's getting to that sequence, and it's in the Board of Zoning of Appeals
I
right
am
now.
asking to expedite this project, Tom, before December 17th. Whatever we could do, please. I am pleading with this
We
council
can't
to
do that with the Board of Zoning Appeals. We can't tell them to expedite anything.
Okay.
It's up
Well-
to you to go to their meeting and tell them that.
Okay. All I could just say is that's a great project, not just for construction workers, not just for the permanent jobs, but for the residents of Smithtown, that we need this project desperately. It's right across the street from St. Catherine's Hospital. You couldn't get a better spot. So please, I am pleading with this council. We need this job desperately, and these members need to go to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. John Guadagno. Vinny.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, Councilman. My name is John Guadagno. I'm a lifetime resident of St. James, proud neighbor of our business, Local 25, Nashborough Electric Workers, who our office is in Smithtown also. I appreciate, Tom, your response and your enlightenment on certain things. We are in favor of construction on Long Island. We are in favor of smart growth. We're in favor of this project. Once everything's been approved and done, we hope this board approves it when everything's in place. So with that, again, we have 113 members who also live in Smithtown, and when everything's appropriately filed, we hope the board will consider it. Thank you very
for your
much.
reasonable presentation.
Thank you.
Paul Leo. Mr. Leo? Ed Enders?
Good evening, Board. My name's Edward Enders. I'm with the Northeast Regional Council of Carpenters. I have some of my members here. I have a large group of my members also live in the town of Smithtown. I'd just like to speak in favor of this project when it comes back before the board. I hope the board will be reasonable and approve this project and move forward. I understand the developers have been waiting a long time for the final approvals. My members need work. It's a good job. It's in the right part of town. It's an assisted living right across from the hospital. It all fits. So when it comes back from the zoning board of appeals, is that what it is?
Board of Zoning Appeals.
Board of Zoning Appeals. When it comes back, hopefully the board will have a favorable approval on this. I thank you for your time.
Thank you for your presentation. Tom Herron, Carpenters Union. Thank you. Well, okay. Well, that ends the meeting. Oh, fine. It's okay, no problem.
Mr. Supervisor, distinguished board members, Paul Leo, Northeast Regional Council of Carpenters. We represent 2,500 carpenters here on Long Island. I'm here tonight to ask, well, for one, I didn't know all the information that has been brought out to light here tonight. And that's why I stepped out to speak with my supervisor. We would ask, once the BZA is finished with their evaluations and this thing is ready to move forward, we've got high rates of unemployment. The longer it takes, the less chance anybody has of making their mortgage payments, paying for their medication, having their car payments done. So we believe this job is a great job. We'd love for it to get approved. We understand now that it needs to go through the right channels with the BZA, and we hope once that is done, we'll have the full support of everyone to move this project forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your reasonableness.
Thank you.
I'll move to close the meeting.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchia?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Vinnie.
I heard him. I'm waiting for the audience to stop
I don't know
clapping.
if you heard.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes again.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.